So what I'm going to tie here is a slinkxy fusion minnow, 2-minute minnow I call it as well. It takes about that long to tie. I'll slow down a little bit. As we tie on the thread, I've got a gamakatsu in here. Tying point would be about 15mm. Stop your thread there. You don't tie any further back towards the point of the hook than that. And what we take is, for the gold bomber, use the slinkxy fusion yellow and gold. For the belly, make a decent profile. Probably use about that much. Snip it off. You got one end that's tapered, one end that's straight. To do one end that's straight, just pull some fibres out, just to make it a little bit uneven, like such. And you end up with two uneven back and front. Now what to do, you take your slinkxy fibre and you want to hold it about 60-40. Put it belly underneath with your 60% hanging back. Take a couple of loose loops, half a dozen I suppose. Just wrap it back up to the eye. Once you get to the eye, you get your other 40% of the material, bend it back, bring your thread back to about halfway to your tying point, and then just tie back just short of your tying point, and then come forward. And that is basically half the fly done. Just leave it as that is at the moment. Next, for the gold bomber, I get some black and blue. I find that the black and blue is really good for gold bomber backs. It really stands out in the water and it's fantastic. Again, this is basically pre-lengthened, pre-stretched like that. So you've got not a complete straight cut on either end. Then you want to hold your material again, 60 to the back, 40 to the front. Come up to the eye, just throw in a couple of loose loops. Doesn't matter if it looks a bit unruly. Right, and then you grab your 40%, bend it over the back of the hook shank, back to about halfway to your tying point. So you get that, and then you just wrap it down. Doesn't matter if it's a little bit untidy, it'll be all fixed up and it won't fall apart. So then you've got your basic tying is done. They're almost finished with the tying point of this fly. What I use then is some of my secret stash dubbing, and I just break a little bit off. You don't need a lot. What this does will fill the head void of the plastic head, and also once you pick it out you'll have some gills and a throat. So it's just, as you can see, it's dubbed on fairly loose. It won't fall out because it's going to get the treatment in a minute. So then it just dub a little bit more, which of course goes well when you're trying to film. So dub a bit more on, slide it on, back to your tying point, bring your thread back to the front of the hook, and that's where your whip finish for the last time. I use the Barramundi whip finisher. I find it's the easiest one to do. 6-7 wraps probably should do it. Bring it back forward, then give it a little snip. I usually use a little bit of Velcro at this stage, but unfortunately I can't find a Velcro, so what I'm going to do is use a carding brush, dog brush, just brush it backwards a little bit, the red fibres, just to roughen them up a bit, make them look a bit like gills and a bit of blood coming out the gill later. So you've got your picked out fairly well both sides. Just bring it back a little bit, stream it back. get ready for the gluing. So you got your UV light ready, your fish head with eyes prepared as in the video I've shown before. What we need is I use a soft UV from the same mob that gives me gets the other stuff from, and it's a little lower viscosity, so it's a lot easier to use. It doesn't tend to run all over the place, and it's soft so it won't go brittle and break off when you're casting or hitting rocks, or fish won't take them off. So you get to that stage and you grab your favourite colour eye. This one I'm using a pearl, and you just carefully push the head over the eye of the hook. Make sure it's nice and straight. You don't want it flopping all over the place. And hit it with your UV lamp. 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. This stuff, 10 seconds. It's really nice. And it doesn't go tacky, it actually dries dry. And you've got your head and your eyes done like that there. Towards the end, just take your fly out the vise, grab your base belly material, and make sure that it's roughly 50-50 through the hook point. Pull it through so you've got it evenly either side. Doesn't take much to do that. Let's get that done. And it's just a matter of and the way I tie this is you can see the amount of cutting I'm going to need to do on the tail. There's what, probably 4 or 5 little bits of material that get wasted, and not a whole bloody lot on the floor. I hate doing that. Anyway, that's how you end up basically with a gold bomber. Get a nice tapered tail. You can leave it a little bit longer for scales coming off. You've got a nice head, you've got the gills, you've got the blood, you've got the throat, and it actually, for the amount of material, which is not very much, it leaves a nice full profile. And it basically stays like that in the water. And you can see how much flashing glint there's going to be in the water. They actually almost glow because of the materials through the body. And you lose a bit of flash off this, don't matter. Other flies, yeah, just about done. Anyway, that's how I do those. Thanks for listening and watching, and I'll catch you next time.